Oh, hello everybody. You just found me auto-fighting through the Apothecary. Why am I doing this? What is the reference, what is the relevance for doing it for this particular video? Well, there's been a little bit of an announcement. Now, today you're probably kind of like, fast-paced at some of the new content. This video is going to be uploaded as the next video after my side quest how it works guide. Then I'm going to move on to an objectives guide, solo event guide, and so many other kind of guides and information, with of course a spreadsheet that as I normally do on a monthly basis to keep you all informed, help out those that may need a little bit of help. But the reason that was relevant, the Apothecary grind that is that Kabam are doing the nerfs. They're nerfing around the place, and something has just been nerfed, or will be nerfed, and that is the drop rates in Act 5 as part of the revamp. So as Kabam have said here, with the launch of Act 4/5 revamp, we have modified the drop rates for consumables in a number of Act 5 quests. This is necessary because with 7 stars and Ascension substantially increasing power ceiling of champion rosters, these quests will become substantially easier, and a number of Act 5 quests are anticipated to become auto-playable in the near future. So this is kind of like Kabam again up ahead of what would be a future Act 3.2.6. As a lot of you know, there are certain areas you go in game. I'm not going to name them out loud, but there's a reason that I've stopped making content on those particular areas because of the reasons that some of the stuff, Kabam literally will go to data and go, oh look, these players are grinding this particular content. We need to nerf this into the ground because people are doing it. They're getting loads of this, loads of that, and stuff like that. It's just how it works. If you all talk about the same place to go and get certain consumables, Kabam are going to know about it. They will nerf it. That's how it's happened. If you say that's not going to happen, that's not true, then there was something called Act 3.2.6. Do you remember it? Do you remember it? Oh, now you do. Now you do. Any case, sarcasm aside, moving on. Without these changes, a number of quests would have been problematic, including one that had the potential to become an infinite energy loop as the quest returns, on average, more energy refills than it takes to complete. Need I say more? But yeah, that's really that. That method has kind of like been nerfed. We held off on making these changes so long as these farming quests still required substantial effort to take advantage of. Up to this point, a very small number of summoners were farming in these quests. Good, I'm glad that's the case. However, we determined that it was time to change these quests before summoners' power eclipses them in such a way that they would become attractive farming spots for a large number of players. And finally, Kabam end by saying, we understand this will be upsetting to some. I mean, look, upsetting. I'm upset when a relative dies, or an animal dies, like a pet of mine dies. So I'm not sure. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, to be honest, to some. But we hope that you can understand that an infinite energy loop would be an element that just can exist in the battle realm, which of course then leads to different areas. And there are some areas still in game that's kind of like you can repeat to grab consumables, but yeah, it's a very kind of like difficult thing to go around. I know people will be unhappy about this one. I definitely know people are going to be unhappy about this one. I would say the problem with this is that it does boil down to the skill curve to stuff. How does the skill curve kind of like it's like a domino effect. So players need that energy refill to go and get the revives to help them out to do the content. Kabam expect the content to be done with units. That's how they've kind of like said a lot of this stuff is to be done, which is not necessarily fair to all of this. Kabam would say that's fair. To others, not. I'm targeting things like Cyber Weekend deals and July 4th deals, because that is, being a non-spending player trying to get an advantage is difficult. Kabam will say, well, you need to do content to get items. Well, unfortunately, you allow spenders, nothing against spenders, but I want to say the point I'm going to get to is that spenders are able to get advantages. People are rank 2ing 7 stars, but a lot of non-spending players do not have that access, and therefore would have to rely on them non-spending means to be incredibly skilled to get some of the content done. Like EOP. EOP is a revive fest. If it's done with units, Kabam see that's fair. Well, you know, if someone blasted all their units into doing EOP, they got nothing for Cyber Weekend deals, and within 6 months, the rewards from EOP could largely see themselves being redundant. That may be a bit of an exaggeration, but it seems to be the case. If you said EOP at the start of the year, I'll do EOP, I'll get my first ever rank 5 6-star champion. Well, after EOP, I had access to my second rank 5 6-star without having to do any of the end game content. I've not even 100%ed Act 8.2 yet. So there needs to be this kind of like, as much as I agree with Kabam, there's other elements that they really need to hammer in. And it gets worse. Like, if you saw the live stream, Kabam was saying that they're going to be putting in the next progression element to what will be, well, I think it was something like 7 stars rank 3, but they explained why they'd be adding in the next thing, the next kind of level up from 7 stars. Hang on a minute, a lot of spenders have just spent on 7 stars. So now we're kind of thinking about going again and again. It's just get your wallet out, isn't it? It's like there must be a case that Kabam want, or Netmarble are kind of like forcing that element of going, hang on a minute, they're not spending units, not spending money on units for revives. They're spending on 7 stars. Well, we need to put the next thing in. Well, they're not spending on relics. Well, relics are an option to spend on if you wanted to. So it's like I know this is one of the reasons that I decided to kind of go non-spending. It's just to kind of get away from a lot of this kind of like always having to catch up politics and just enjoying the game as it is. I probably will have to do more arena grinding. And I will be doing a lot more battlegrounds now, and that's going to have to be it. But it's trying to find the extra time to do it. You have to go like, I've got to do arena, got to do this quest, got to do this. Oh, there's endgame content to do. And some people are saying to me, or some people say, there's not enough to do in-game. What are you talking about? You must be a spender or excessively spending to kind of like come up with that particular... I've gone away from the particular element of what this is all about. Sorry, I've diverted away. I went on a mini rant here. Yeah, at the end of the day, energy is not so much of an issue for me. I don't know if it's a problem for anyone else. Like, game-wise, at the moment, in-game, that's champions, Richard. Yep. Where's my health and energy? So, I always seem to have, like, full 10 energy refills, which is not so much of an issue, but, of course, you'd run out of them. I'm also very careful when it comes to spending my 4-hour crystals. I make sure I claim them as much as possible. A lot of free-to-play players, non-spending players, will understand why. You know, from just, like, popping these open, you can get some energy refills. Like, I've got one right there. Some health potions. So, I don't know. I'm not seeing a problem with energy, but I do understand there are people that will grind the energy to then go and use the energy in getting revives. And maybe also completing content. I don't know. I haven't done that particular element of Act 5 farming grind for... I can't remember last time. It must be months since I've done... When I say months, like late last year. I feel there's a lot more energy refills in-game at the moment. But I do understand there's people out there, especially non-spending players. And also, like, you know, look, if you're less skilled, you should never be embarrassed about being less skilled. You may go and farm a load of revives by doing the methods. The apothecary's there, and I think it's important to do that on a daily basis, just in case. Would I love to see an extra revive in the apothecary? Hell yeah, I think that's got to be done at some point. But you know, I don't think Kabam are going to do that anytime soon. I really don't. The idea of doing that is kind of like not the point for them. I would also recommend, guys, to do your 22-hour events. Like, 22-hour events have got to be done, like, on a daily basis. I force myself to do them. And, you know, I am like stacking a few revives here or there. And if that, I'm not saying that this is the problem, but a lot of people are using those energy refills that they're farming to reinvest in their grind, whether it be questing. Yeah, questing. A lot of people then are using it for stuff like revive take home, because as I said, there's like 100%ed the event quest, so then I've got extra energy refills. I've still got to do a little bit more of Act 8.2, but I'll probably be able to do that under my own steam. When I say under my own steam, under my 4-hour crystals, saving them, popping them, getting them. And I would say, you know, Kabam, you know, be a bit fairer on the drop rates. You know, if that's the problem, I'd say look at the data Kabam and find out, like, well, what are people doing with those energy refills? If they are using them in content, make your drop rates better for your crystals, your 4-hour crystals. Also, look at the revive grinding. If people are revive farming, give people extra opportunity for revives. Extra revive in the apothecary. A few more dropped here and there when it comes to the story event. Not story event, the event quest. So I don't know, like, it's very fresh when it comes to the response on this one. I would say I get why Kabam are doing this one, but at the same time, you've got to help out. You've got to help a brother out, you know, with this. And yeah. Interesting on thoughts. What's everyone's thoughts on this? Put it in the comment section down below. Check out some other content located on screen. And I will see you later on in probably a side quest video. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.